Bonjour, mon ami. Bon dimanche. Happy Sunday. Today, we are going to cook the most iconic Cajun dish that they have. That's right, some chicken and sausage gumbo. I'm going to do things a little bit different than most Cajuns do because most Cajuns will say as soon as they see some tomatoes right here, "Mais Shad, that's not no Cajun gumbo right there." Well, there's two types of true gumbo that they have, and that is Cajun gumbo, Creole gumbo. Creole gumbo is more towards the New Orleans side. Cajun gumbo is more towards Acadiana area, deep south central Louisiana. I actually started trying to find something that kind of gave a little medley, a combination of both. So you have that dark, rich roux that you get in South Louisiana. And you also add that little bit of tomato spice in there that gives you that little bit of Creole flavor. It's a perfect combination. What I'm gonna do today is I'm gonna start you off creating that gumbo and get you in there good. South Louisiana Cajun gumbo gotta have the Holy Trinity. The Holy Trinity is onion, bell pepper, celery shaft. Now, Creole likes to throw some garlic and some nice fresh Roma tomatoes up in there. Everything good takes time. So when you're gonna have time, you gotta have some time. And we have some good Cajun seasonings right here, Tony Sacheres and Slap Your Mama for that little extra kick that you need. I also have me some fresh green onion sausage from Richard's and some andouille sausage from Savoy's. And of course, some CrazyCajun homemade smoked spicy tasso. We're gonna put all that up in the first batch, cook that down, and then we get that going. After that, we'll make our roux. Y'all remember when I told you you don't need to use fresh vegetables making that chicken stock? That you can use those little bits and pieces from whenever you're cooking whatever else you're cooking? Well, here's one of those times. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get this bell pepper ready for doing that nice beautiful gumbo that we're gonna make here. I'm taking off the little bits and pieces, putting them in a separate bowl right here. I'll take this onion and cut off the ends. Throw that in the same. Cut that onion in half like that, and you just peel off that first layer. That first layer goes in that extra ends and pieces bowl along with the rest. And you add all of that to your chicken stock whenever you're making it. And that way you don't have to waste any fresh vegetables doing that. Now, garlic. Pretty much everybody hates peeling garlic. Well, I got a little crazy Cajun invention right here. You've seen those people smash a piece. They'll take the knife and smash a piece. I end up using a whole pod for the most part. So I just take me out a pot. One good lick on that, you're good to go. All you gotta do is pick out the pieces when they come out and you're all good. All right, give me some rum right here. Gotta chop some onions, so you need to get you some rum going. Get that onion nice and sliced. You'll get small bits and pieces. Now, everybody says, "Oh, I'm scared to have my knife sharp like that. I might cut myself." Well, let me tell you, the worst possible thing you can do when you're cutting is have a dull knife. There are two things that will make a knife sharp. You have sharpening, which actually puts the edge on that knife. You also have what they call honing. This is what you'll see most chefs do whenever they on a cooking channel or something like that. They'll show you going at it with that little tool, back and forth, back and forth. All they doing is honing that edge. That edge is gonna be already sharp. It doesn't work unless that edge is already there. It has to be sharp to start. Honing just redefines that edge, puts it back in the center, and makes the knife seem sharp again. But you first got to get on a stone or use a knife sharpener to be able to get that edge on there in the first place. And if you do, everything's gonna come together nice. I got my garlic all nice and neat right here. And now I'm chopping up my bell pepper. Now, gumbo, they have many people that have tried to figure out the history of gumbo. Gumbo very possibly came from a Choctaw word named Gumbo. Gumbo also translates in a few languages as straight up okra. Okra is one of the main ingredients in gumbo. However, today's day and age, a lot of people don't use okra in their gumbo anymore. Mostly because people say, oh, that's a slimy vegetable. I don't want no slimy soup. But the slime is actually something you could cook out. If you're getting that slimy nature from okra putting in the gumbo, that means that you didn't cook it long enough. Most gumbos I cooked in the past would take an absolute minimum of 4 hours to cook. However, what I'm gonna do for you today is a gumbo that's gonna be just as rich in flavor, full of flavor, and yet only take 2 hours to make. There you go, bell peppers and garlic. We're going straight into the pot along with my nice chopped onions. Chopping celery. The first thing you're going to want to do is make you some lines straight up, almost to the edge of the celery. You don't want to go all the way to the edge, because what you're going to do is you're going to chop it this way and it holds it together while you're doing it. Again, on this stalk here, I'll do the same thing. Come down to the edge like that. Then start from the other side. Chop like this. Knife never leaves the cutting board. Up and down like a saw in motion. Go across, everything stays the same. Get everything nice and even. Really good chop. Get to the end. This goes in our pieces and things for our next stock. Nice, beautiful celery to add. Put that on up in there. Good to go. Now we're going to chop up my okra. I'm going to go ahead and put that up in that pot as well. We already got our tomatoes. We already got our onions. We already got our bell pepper and celery up in there. I'm putting the end caps of the okra directly into my vegetables for my stock. Now that vegetables that I'm putting here for the stock, that don't keep forever. It'll keep you in the refrigerator for about a week or so. But you want to be able to cook a stock pretty soon after doing something like this. If you're not going to cook it in a week or so, you can freeze it. Alright, so got all my okra nice and chopped here. This is going to also go in my pot, which I'm going to pressure cook with the tasso and the sausage for an hour and a half while we get our roux ready and add the chicken. I'm done with these cutting boards because this was for my vegetables here, so that goes in the sink. Now I get out my cutting board for my meat. Obviously, this little bitty baby cutting board right here is not gonna be enough. Get a nice clean wash on your knife. Don't want to be mixing stuff. Come back to the kitchen. Now, if you notice, this hand holds a knife. This hand touches whatever I'm working with. I never use this hand to touch the food. That is so everything stays sanitary. I can go ahead and I can grab my drink right here. Take a little sip like that and I ain't hurt nothing. Now, my sausage, I like to cut it in half first and then come back and cut it lengthwise. Like this. What this does is it makes sure that you get a bite of meat in every single mouthful of that gumbo. Make it sauce bon. That's good like that. Now all my beautiful sausage is all chopped up. I'll take this bowl and just push it on in there because moving this cutting board a little big. After we finish with the sausage, the next thing we work on is the tasso. I know some of you probably saying, what the heck is tasso? Tasso is a Cajun smoked ham. It's some pork that I took and threw up on the grill and smoked pretty much all day long. When I was done, I put that in a shrink wrap so that I can use it for just such an occasion as this gumbo. Alrighty here. Now all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna dice it really, really small. And this is gonna add that nice, rich smoke flavor to my gumbo along with that smoked chicken stock that we made. All right, tasso all nice and cubed here. All I'm gonna do is carry this over, put this in my pot as well. And what I'm gonna do, as I said, is that this is gonna be pressure cooked over an hour and a half. Now, I use boneless, skinless chicken breasts, chicken thighs when I'm making my gumbo. And I know they have a lot of people that will say, you know, I like leaving them on the bone. I like having that skin because it gives flavor. Well, if you remember, when I make my chicken stock, it's made on the bone with the skin, smoked on the grill. My flavor is in the stock, baby. And that way, you don't have to be picking no bones. You don't have to be picking out skin. You just get your stock ready and you pour that luscious stock all up in this pot. And I also add that stock directly inside my roux when I get it going on the pot.